Hey everybody, this is David with Design Build Go, and today we are going to be assembling a Leitner full rack for the Grenadier. Do a lot of the other Leitner stuff, like this is a 3/4 for the next customer, and some sidekicks and whatnot back there. But with this full rack, what's cool about it is if you configure it right, you can use it with your Safari windows. So it's a real low profile rack, really nice. Like the Leitner stuff very much. And so I kind of like to lay it out, organize it. Everything when it comes is wrapped in plastic. So just getting it ready to organize takes, a good half hour, 45 minutes to really lay everything out and get it properly set from box over here. Anyway, let's take a look over here. So start out, just lay everything out. Look at our tools. We need some T30, T40 Torx. So we've got that laid out. I think this is a 4mm Allen for right here for these keys that are going to go in here, the set screws, and then 13mm wrenches for these guys that are going to go on the bottom. These are typical of all the Leitner rack. They slide under, and this is going to sit on top of our little arms on the grab bars. And then the corners, obviously, here. So when we look, kind of just laid everything out. This is going to be the back of the rig, and then we're going to move towards the front. So this long support that you see is going to really transfer and carry that weight across there. Let's see, what else do we got? Then we've got in the front this guy here. This is kind of, if you look at, let's take a look at these here. When you pull off these grab bars, okay, you're going to replace the ends. And I pulled one off, and you can see this truck isn't too old, but you can see these lines here. And then we just build it into this configuration. So on the back of these, you have a T25 right here that you just loosen up. So that clamp comes out, and then it just slides right off. And then when you put the new one on, you end up with a 2.5mm Allen key to just tighten these in place. So as you can see, I've kind of taken the bars off already. We're gonna take those off, replace all four, come back, put them back on the truck over here in these spots. And that's kind of the first thing that I like to do to get organized with it. And then I've already built up, I don't know if I told you this, but I built up these pre-assemblies, real straightforward. Just build all these up, get these ready to go. They're going to hold the bars and grab into here and then into there. So we'll show you how that all works. All right, so we have all the grab bar setups all going. And one of the tips is leave these like somewhat, when you set them up, leave these a little loose. And then it helps you set them in position, and you can just kind of work from there. But yeah, you set all these up, all four sides. You can see those are done over there. And then you want to make sure that you keep these guys, because if you ever want to go back, you're going to want to, you reuse these. So I'm just going to set these in here for now. And we'll get everything ready and get organized for the next step. Okay, so one of the next things we're going to do is connect these two. So as you can see, you set these in the rails. You're going to use these sets. And then if we come over here, that's what it looks like. You're going to bring these things as tight as you can make them. Get them good. And then I like to lay in the square, carpenter square here, and we're going to get this all set. And then what I like to do to check it before I tighten everything down too much is put this in and see where I'm at. So you can see that looks good and this doesn't, and then you figure out why. So you got to kind of work that before you get these real tight. So you're going to do these four ends first. This end, and back down there, and make it a square, or actually a rectangle, sorry. So I'll show you what that looks like, but we're not going to put these in quite yet, but we just want to make sure that they're square and fit properly. So I'll show you what that looks like next. So we've got our layout here of, let's get everything in the picture, of the square, right? We've got it pretty much squared up. We've made sure our corners match. Now what we're doing is taking these pieces that are going to hold on to the roof rack. Slide these guys in here. Okay, you get 2 on this side, short side, before you get to this. And then you got 3 up there. Same thing. So those are going to be what holds the roof rack on. Once you have those on, you can take these caps, you go like this. Set them in the corners. You might have to do some adjustments. Looks like I have a little bit to do here. And then we're going to put down our screws. But we're going to tighten up these edges because you got to get all this squared away before you get to that. Oh, it's just sitting wrong. So, see, you don't have to do much. What do you think about that? Huh? Pretty good, huh? I agree. Slick stuff, buddy. Yep, so we've got these like T30s over here. We're going to drop in there and finish out these. All right, so we finished the ends. All the ends are done and all these pieces are in. So then the last part to do still is this wind deflector. And you'll see what's cool about it is it has the cutout for the front of the Grenadier. And then, so we're going to use the front line. But if we were going to run their Baja brackets and stuff, or rigid brackets, we would move to the second line. So there's, you can put a, like an S8, a 50-inch S8, 40-inch S8, whatever you want. But we're going to put this here because this truck's not getting that. So we're going to center this, put it in with these pieces, and then slide these in the channel. All right, so that fits really nicely. Comes across, again, the cutout for the top of the Grenadier. Really simple. Now we're going to add the cross slats. All right, so we put our end caps on. We got everything set up, turned it back over. And then what I like to do is, you know, based on directions, I said if you're evenly spacing it, start out with, you know, you go with 9 inches in between. The typical 3/4 rack is 8. So equally spaced. So these being 9. Are going to be good right here. So we come across and go 9, 9, 9, 9. And then coming to the end, I just kind of move these closer as I want to get this mounted and then evaluate where we are with our Safari windows because we want those opening and fully functional. So what we're going to do is try to leave a space open for that. And again, these are only on the sidebars. These are on the top. So when I have this thing mounted, what I'm going to do is be able to loosen this and either move this forward, back, whatever I need to do. We're going to do that. But again, this is your front is open for your Safari windows. We got the wind deflector mounted. So we're looking good. Next thing we got to do is get these bad boys set in place. And we'll mess with these. Essentially what you're doing is you've got this plate in here that's going to touch on the bottom of the gutter, and this one is going to be on the top, like as such. Okay, more centered obviously, and then these indentations will accept the set nuts that are in there. So we'll get that on next, and then this will be ready to hoist it up and then drive the truck under. All right, so we got this all set up. And what we're doing here is going to bring, let's get you in there, bring this all the way down, kind of just touching. And then as you bring these screws down, you got to make sure that they hit the little holes and recesses that are there in that piece. And so you'll just come down and screw those. It's a 4mm setup, but it's pretty stout. You can see me moving it there. I've already put as we said, we already put the ones back on the rails. So next thing we got to do is just scoop it up and up and away. All right, so we got this baby all set. It's looking good, but we're gonna have a little issue with our Safari windows. So what I'm gonna do is take this bad boy and I'm gonna put it forward and just see how that is. I'm gonna take it on the freeway and check it out. And then I will take this one and move it a little bit further to basically allow for the window to open, but still give us as much footprint as possible. So that'll be done in just a minute. So here is the final configuration right here. So I moved these two together. Well, this one stays, obviously. This is slid forward. Again, I'll road test that, see what the noise level's like. And then as far as coming up here, I did 5.5 inches from here to here. I don't want this too close to the windows to be something that could make noise. So I'm going to test drive this and see what I think, and then possibly move it back. We'll see. All depends. But a lot of the stuff with Grenadiers, you just got to keep trying it and figuring out what you want to do. But overall, super impressed with the quality of the rack. We've done a lot of 3/4, but this is the first of the full. So a little bit to learn. This is